if there's any way for me to test that. Okay, can you go to twitch.tv/Berloga and see if like you can hear yourself?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, I can. It's just lagging a little bit behind.
All right.
Like maybe 2 seconds.
Oh, you can hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, and I'll just leave the chat window open here just in case, and have Twitter on, and oh my god, this is gonna be great.
Okay, I'm actually on the Extra Life page. I guess I should be on the Twitch page because I don't see a chat.
Oh, so the chat thing is on the Twitch page, but there's no chat.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna switch to that then.
I don't believe in chat rooms.
I don't really either, but I don't know. Something about that just feels right on Twitch.
All right, single player. Ooh, classic, for sure. Yeah, okay. Enable Ironman, for sure. No tutorial. Oh, okay, this is gonna go great. So, good morning, and thank you for tuning in to One Life for Extra Life, where we're trying to raise money to help kids, sick kids in hospitals who are being treated. And I'm personally raising money for the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh of UPMC. You can donate. There's a nice link at the bottom of the screen where you can go and donate money. And currently playing XCOM Enemy Unknown. I'm joined by Adam Condra. Let me just change the text here at the bottom because it's no longer soon. It's now.
Hey guys.
Hi Adam. Good morning. How are you?
I'm pretty good, considering it's 7 a.m. on a Saturday.
Oh my god, thank you so much for joining me so early.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got some other stuff I wanted to do today, so I wanted to make sure I could get in here at least once, and I figured first thing was as good as any. Because I wasn't going to be around later. So, plus we're playing XCOM, which I think among these choices would be the one thing that I would probably get close to putting 25 hours into in one go.
Yep.
Even though you're not doing that, because, you know, you want to keep your sanity after this.
Well, if I can do this for the entire stream, that would be incredible, but that's not going to happen. And the reason for that is because I'm playing on classic Ironman mode.
Wasn't your rule is
so my rule
you
is
have to switch, or you just will switch at a predetermined point?
Assume it's just one life per game. When I die, then the guest will pick the next game.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I usually start in Africa because I find the increased money to be a way better bonus than any of the other ones. Do you have any suggestions?
I started in North America. I can't remember why, but more money sounds better just because that'll be faster satellites, I guess.
Yep. You can ask questions by tweeting at me or using the hashtag OLFEL, One Life for Extra Life, which I'm monitoring. Hey, Twitters.
Okay, so there's one dude in the chat, and it's me.
Awesome.
Mind the rules, folks.
So, how was your Halloween? I didn't say this on Twitter or Facebook, but that was an awesome max bait.
Thank you. Halloween, that was for the Halloween party that we had on Sunday. And I just kind of figured on a lark that it would be funny to do that because my head's buzzed right now and I've got a beard. And the kids thought it was pretty funny, but I think on the day... Huh?
Did any of them recognize you?
Yes, actually. Which, you know, that doesn't really bother me so much anymore because they talk about Skyrim and Assassin's Creed all the time. So I think that's their parents' business. But it was really funny when I walked in and they immediately recognized me. Um, but they know who Max Payne is because he's got this kind of like iconic look to him, especially in the third game. But they haven't played it, so they don't really know anything specific. Like they don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. They were just sort of mystified that I look so different because normally I'm wearing collared shirts and have teacher's attire on. But Thursday was the day the kids were allowed to come dressed up, but they had to be historical characters that we had studied. And I told them, like, I have a kilt, and I told them I was thinking about wearing that, which didn't really have any context for anything we studied this year. I just, thought they'd get a kick out of it, which was true. So one of them gave me a blue magic marker, and I went in and just painted blue stripes on my face. So I was a picked, I guess. But
Nice.
no, yeah, it was fun. And then on a Thursday night, went home, just watched horror movies.
What did you watch?
I watched Kill List first. I watched two. Kill List, which is it's a British horror movie, kind of like The Wicker Man. It's got some of those kind of elements in it, and then if you mash it up with a crime film like Get Carter or maybe even I don't know Death Wish, it's this weird sort of cocktail of really, really violent cinema, and I don't want to spoil anything because it's on Netflix. And if you haven't seen it yet, you should watch it cold because there are some really ridiculous twists in that film. And then the second one I watched was Innkeepers, which a lot of people have been talking about for years, and I just haven't watched it yet. It scared the crap out of me. It's one of those movies where nothing happens for about 40 minutes, and then it just guts you, like, out of nowhere. And it's even more restrained than that, because, like, once there's the first big scare, then it's content to just sort of be kind of slow again for the next 20 minutes or so. But this time, you're just on complete edge, because you didn't realize how little the movie was fucking around. And then, it sort of rolls into this climax that's really just breakneck and terrifying. So that was good, and I slept fine, which is really all I care about after an event like that. So
Yes.
yeah, I had no trick-or-treaters though, which is probably good because my apartment complex isn't especially child friendly. So
Ooh. In what sense?
uh,
Out of
I
curiosity.
live next door to a bunch of potheads and their pit bulls, which is actually kind of funny because there's like, if you walk around my house or if you walk around my apartment complex after say 6:30 in the evening, it smells like that scene in Far Cry 3 where you're just burning down all the marijuana, and like it's impossible to avoid. And the neighbors that I have, they're friendly enough. If I walk around, they'll say, "Hey, whatever." They don't mean any harm. They're just high as balls all the time. They've got a pair of pit bulls who are really sweet dogs, but the owners have this idea in their heads that their dogs are just these latent killing machines waiting to explode on someone. So like there will be times where I walk up and their door's open and the dogs are just sitting out on the crosswalk. And I'll walk up and I'll say, hey, and I'll start petting them, and they'll be like, no, get away, they'll kill you. I don't know, like, what assumptions you're operating under, but your dogs really aren't that bad.
Oh, fuck.
They just want to live the life. It's a good thing that was only sectoids.
It is a good thing.
Well, I guess you just started, so they'll wait to introduce anything bigger.
Right. Overwatch. The last time I tried playing Classic Ironman, it did not end well for me. It was quite embarrassing, actually.
How far did you get?
Not very far. So this
I've
can last, like
never
half an
tried
hour.
it. Yeah, I've never tried going into Ironman.
My biggest worry about playing Ironman mode is XCOM is not a perfect game in terms of just technicalities.
Hmm.
So like it'll bug on you, it'll crash, and with Ironman, you're like, yeah, that's a lot of progress saved,
Yeah.
just because like a game decides to quit on you,
Hmm.
and that's it. And then you reload, and it's stuck at like the same point, I guess, and keeps crashing.
Right.
Okay. I don't know why I went there.
You're playing Iron Man a lot like I play easy mode, which is just, it's like in checkers, you don't want to be the one who has to make the first move that puts himself at risk. So you're just making moves that delay any sort of contact until it's absolutely necessary.
With XCOM, I found that being slow and steady definitely is the way to go.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's turn based for a reason. You can just take your time with it, and it's not like you're being deducted for the number of turns you take, which would be an interesting addition to XCOM. Like that would be an interesting mechanic, as if you got deducted for the number of turns you take.
Like
If you take
you
too
only,
long on a mission.
oh, okay. Yeah. I was thinking like you have to win this, in 20 turns or less or something like that.
Ooh, like a puzzle element to it.
Yeah. Or like a challenge mode, I think.
That yeah, you're right. That's more fitting.
It would be cool if like they just gave you a mission editor and you can set up your maps, you can set up whatever parameters you want
Hmm.
with whatever tools and whatever squad members you want. I think I'd have fun for a while just screwing around and that kind of thing.
Definitely, and like add Steam Workshop support, and people could just post their creations online. That'd be cool.
You could have persona character models. You could make Inaba a map.
Shut up! Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
The new brute model is just Teddy. And it's
Oh, you can have so much fun. Just Black Frost coming at you. Black Frost coming at you on 87.6 The Wave. I don't-
Are these percentages lower because it's Iron Man? The hit percentages, I mean.
I don't think so. I think it's because maybe classic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Iron Man just basically affects when you can save, and it saves for you automatically whenever like anyone dies. Wow, that was dumb.
There's
And
two. Whoa.
yeah, there's the first kill of the day. Bummer. All right.
So you took out that first sectoid with a grenade, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want to risk it. Oh my gosh. That was so dumb. Apologies if I'm not the best host right now. I am trying to play this game that has a higher cognitive load than a lot of other games. Which is to say,
And it murders you.
yeah. So after this mission is done, when I have the ability to customize my soldiers, I am going to start naming my soldiers after my donors. So if you would like to see your name in XCOM while I'm playing it on the stream, you can donate at, and then there's a link at the bottom of the screen. So I got an email from you saying you're getting breakfast from
Oh, it's Hardee's. Yeah.
Hardee's. What is Hardee's, and what sort of breakfast?
I guess Hardee's is known as Carl's Jr. in other parts of the country. So if you have a Carl's Jr. up in Pittsburgh, or I know they have them out in California.
For sure.
Yeah, Hardee's is just what they call that in the Southeast. I don't know why, but they're the exact same restaurant, same menus and everything.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is there, but I got sausage, egg, biscuit, and a coffee. I figured that would set me up pretty well for being up this early on a Saturday. And it's great because I live in Tuscaloosa, so normally on Saturdays this place is just choked with people getting ready for college games, but they're off this week, so it was just completely dead outside, which I can appreciate. Come on, that was at least 2/3 XCOM. Has it let you hit anything yet?
Not really. It's just. Oh, seriously? Oh boy. Oh, this is not going great. This is not going great at all. Yeah!
45. Cutscene! Sweet. I think one of my favorite things about XCOM is when you get in these moments where you're just jammed up and the enemy's got the drop on you and there aren't a lot of good moves you can make, but one of your team members has a grenade and you manage to throw it in just the right way where the cone affects only the enemies even though it's right next to your team. And it doesn't even feel like it's something the game should allow. It seems like it's just glitching it, you know?
Yeah, like for example, I'm throwing this grenade through a wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 sectoids. Damn.
Ooh, that was rough. So like usually, I guess on a normal difficulty, you would get maybe like less than 6?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. I don't know. I've only played through like all of XCOM twice, and so I have no idea.
I'll be playing through again, I guess. 10 days, yeah. When the expansion comes out.
Ooh, yes. I was kind of bummed to see that it wouldn't come out until after the stream, because that'd be a really cool one to play to play live.
Yeah, and it's weird to see an expansion for something that was last year coming out, dead in the middle of November. But I guess it's ready when it's ready.
It's ready when it's done. Or
I always forget that Dr. Shen is Asian.
he sounds German almost.
Yeah, he's got this strange, completely multicultural and yet, kind of just not exotic at all thing going on. He's like, oh, what's up? It's Dr. Shen.
Okay. Alright, I just gotta look up my list of donors so I can start naming people.
I was gonna say, how many soldiers do you have left and how many would you need to hire? Because that could get expensive.
That can get expensive.
That looks like plenty.
Alright, so guess I'll start at the beginning. Anonymous, donated $5. Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah. I donated like 5 extra life campaigns this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't have much money to go around. So I was just like, well, I don't really want to put my name next to $5.
Well, that was sweet of you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's like,
that's,
it's like Dark Stations, Good Games Writings, Rebel FM. I think that was it.
Alright. Next up.
First thing I did when I played XCOM last year was I based all my squad members on the kids who were in my class.
Oh, that was not a good decision.
It wasn't for several of them. Quay has survived the entire campaign.
Nice.
Yeah, him and two of the girls. They're still alive. Everyone else bit it hard.
So, would you like come into your classroom and then tell them about what they did in XCOM? Like, hey, you took out 5 crystalids, or...
No, I didn't do that, but I did post the funeral screens on Twitter. Just to be an asshole, I guess. One of the students died the very first battle after I made him. And I was like, well, that's unfortunate. I could always go back and just make him again, edit another squad member. I was like, no, he needs to know that he failed, and just sort of let that be. Adam Anonymous.
Sure, if you want. I mean, you're...
No, it's fine.
Okay. This is exciting stream content. I apologize.
At least XCOM can't kill you in the text field.
Yes, and at least it's not popping up like the Xbox keyboard.
That thing is so terrible.
That thing is the worst. Oh gosh, I really hope like they can license out Valve's flower petal thing.
Yeah, what is it? The daisy wheel.
Yeah, the daisy wheel. That thing is cool.
Nice. That controller looks cool. Did you see the demo where the guy's playing Civ on it in Portal?
Yes,
that was really interesting.
Are you gonna get that controller?
It depends, because that, off the top of my head, that looks like it's gonna cost like $90 when it comes out.
Really? What makes you think that?
The haptic feedback on 2 large surfaces and then that touchscreen. I think it's gonna be really expensive.
I wonder if they're gonna try to go I wonder if they're gonna take a loss on that one and try to do like $60 to match the 360 controller.
I mean, their war chest is big enough. I don't think that would hurt their bottom line very much at all.
Yeah, I don't think Valve cares about money anymore. I think that's kind of a non-issue to them.
No, I mean, if this is the kind of thing, like, if the 2 flat planes instead of control sticks, like, if that's the kind of stuff that comes out of their R&D, there's got to be just crazier, wackier things in there. Like, if this is the sanest, most coherent interface they wanted to put on a controller.
Right.
I bet they've got their own version of, like, a Wii remote and, like, that Sega activator thing where you had to, like, put it on the ground and you would punch through the lasers to do your moves. I think that's what it's called. I've only ever seen one at yard sales.
Well, they do have, like, I think Michael Abrash, I think that's his name, he's working on, like, wearable computers. They're doing, like, some... I don't know if they're still doing it, but, like, last time I looked into it, when I was interviewing with them for a job...
oh, yeah, I forgot you did that.
Yeah. That did not end in success, clearly, but like, they were still doing, like, biological, like, biofeedback stuff, with like measuring your skin conductivity levels and your heart rate and looking at like where your eyes are looking and how much they're blinking, and they're just taking all of those biological inputs and then changing the gameplay based on that.
Gosh, that sounds like if they take all that data and they feed it into the Left 4 Dead AI director, that sounds like it could turn Left 4 Dead into something really scary.
Well, they were what's his name? Hold on. He was there was a GDC talk that someone from Valve gave, and it was he was the experimental psychologist, and he just basically like showed a video of people playing Left 4 Dead, and then the like the AI director in that game, basically like changing the zombies and the changing the ways that the AI director behaves based on like players' health state, not health state, like bio state. Like if someone was super like nervous, then that would actually affect the director.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Let me just find his name. That way you can just Google it, and that GDC talk is actually available to watch for free.
Sweet. That seems like something that could lead to, I don't know, like you buy a game and, you know, instead of putting in an online pass, you've got to put in like your
DNA strand.
Yeah, and like your BMI. Like, are you going to have a coronary if the game does this? Like,
just turn it into Gattaca.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would... I don't know, would you do that?
Or they make it for Wii U and you have to stand on the balance board to verify your information. And if you're too high risk, Reggie pops up and says your body is not ready.
It's a long setup for that joke.
Yeah, I know.
Man, LinkedIn is so bad. Like, how do I look at my connections?
I have a lot of stuff I need to clear out of LinkedIn.
I don't... Oh, wait. Oh. I saw him. Michael M. Binder. So if you look up, GDC Michael M. Binder or Mike M. Binder, Valve, you will see the talk.
It is the 4th Google search result.
All right. And what's the title of that page?
Valve showing physiological response in Left 4 Dead. Let's see. This is the GDC Vault. There's a preview and there's a clip from it, but there's not the actual talk. I don't know. I'll find it.
All right, Adam. Let's see what you're made out of. Biofeedback in games.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Let's see what you're made out of in this game of XCOM.
What class am I?
You're a rookie still.
Oh, okay. That's it.
And we're going to Russia, my motherland, that I'm never going back to.
Oh, Chad deleted the link. That's too bad.
Aw.
Oh well, if you search Mike Ambender GDC, it's like... Oh shoot. I just X'd out of the Twitch page, sorry.
No problem. And he's a really cool guy to talk to. When I was interviewing him, he was my main contact there, and he's nice. He's a really cool guy. And afterwards, you know, like after the phone interview, I was like, hey, is there anything I can work on? Like, can you give me some suggestions for improvements? And like, I was expecting, you know, like a 1 or 2 sentence. And he just gives me like this super long thing about like what they're really looking for, like my strengths, my weaknesses, and like what I can do to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really cool of him.
It's making me watch a commercial for COD before I get back into it.
Are you buying Ghosts?
Oh yeah. I'm at the point. There was a period, I think 2 or 3 years ago, where I thought that, you know, Call of Duty was on the wane, and it was just gonna, you know, I was just gonna be over it, and that was gonna be that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. They keep going on, and I think that it's more fun to just kind of get into that spirit every year, just to see what they've changed. Even though I don't think the deck is stacked very well in its favor, especially with Titanfall coming out. So at this point, like, I buy COD every year because it feels like kind of an academic experience where you're just watching the evolution of this really successful game design. Mm-hmm. And like deep down, I'm not as jaded as some people. I still feel like COD's a really fun game, and I like it a lot. So, I'm not like frothing at the bit to play it, but I am excited for Tuesday.
Nice. Any specific aspect of the new game that's like super exciting for you? Is it? I guess there's a new mode that's been announced with like dinosaurs or something.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. The multiplayer mode where you have they based it on Crank, the movie, where if you get a kill, you have to get another kill within 30 seconds or you explode.
Ooh.
Like the way a lot of people play COD, they get into this. There are certain people who play COD like me who get into this kind of like runner's loop in a multiplayer map where your strategy is basically to pick a route through the map and then just run it in circuits until you find people and you engage with them. You have these brief, 1 second, 2 second firefights during which you either live or you die, and then you just keep running your route.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for people who play that type of COD, that mode's going to be a ton of fun because you're going to see a lot more people finding ways to disrupt lanes through maps and setting traps and that sort of thing. And then you're going to have people who are called monitors who, when they play COD, they pick one area of the map and just sort of make that their stomping grounds. And they move, so they're not technically camping, but it's kind of the area that they patrol. And so I think you'll have this really fun interplay between people who just want to run around and shoot people, and then the people who are more methodical and more localized in where they do their killing, I guess. So that sounds really cool. I don't know hardly anything about the campaign except that it has a dog, and I love dogs. I love dogs, so that's pretty cool for me. Yeah. And I'm getting it on PC, so hopefully I'll get to see something that feels like really next gen. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw you tweet that COD supports. Oh, what the hell did I do?
COD supports on PS3 the PS4 controller.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So I was like, that's tempting, but it's also $60 that I could, wait until I just get a PS4 or.
Right, because you're getting a controller with that anyway, so
right.
At that point you'd have two controllers, and it's like, well, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah. See, this is what I love and hate about XCOM right here, is that
it's just, I can't...
Firaxis, yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing when they spaced these cars out this way. You can only get so far on one turns that you can end in Overwatch before you have to take a risk and put someone out there.
Man... Okay, and then sectoids. Wonderful, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh god, if the sectoids are hard, the sectopods are going to be just the worst thing ever. God, I can't even imagine that.
I remember the first time I came across a sectopod, and it turned out okay. Like, I ended up killing it really quickly and didn't lose anybody, but it was only because I had heard so much about them from everybody else who'd been playing. That it was, once it showed up, everybody on my team just sort of went, oh shit, divert all resources, kill this thing.
Can't remember who I was talking to, but basically they told me how they just beat a sectopod in like a single turn. Because it was like a combination of like soldiers who fire automatically when there's an enemy within like a certain radius of them, and people on Overwatch. And they just like took care of the sectopod before the sectopod even like did any damage.
Yeah.
And I just, if I just remembered who it was that I was talking to, so that I could never talk to them again, because fuck that.
Yeah, I think I did that too, but it was because I had 3 heavies in that one particular match, and they all had rocket launchers with Shredder, or not Shredder, the one that makes it bigger, more powerful rockets. With bigger radiuses. But that was a unique circumstance, and I think in later matches I wasn't nearly as successful, and I had to be a lot more cautious about it. Just because, especially some of those later maps, when you run into like 15 brutes, by the time a sectopod comes at the end of the match, you've got no rockets, no explosives of any kind left. You got to be really, really careful, especially when it starts blowing down on the walls, and then you're just screwed.
Have you played the DLC that takes place in China?
Oh, was that what was that called? No, I haven't. I think I have it, but I haven't played it.
Because it adds a new rocket launcher.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
What does it do?
So this rocket launcher, it actually... Oh, crap, I gotta get out of this. The rocket launcher actually can take a path. Like, it's a smart weapon. And so you can... Like, you don't need to have direct access to the enemy.
Yeah.
And it does, like, a super insane amount of damage, and it has, like, just super AoE.
There's that alien launcher. So with this rocket launcher, do you get to create the path for it?
It automatically decides the path.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have used that.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so overpowered.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got that because I thought I just upgraded, to something that was crazier. And then it starts like weaving, like politely going through doors and then going into the middle of the room before it detonates.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, holy crap. This car is on fire.
Yeah, I should probably get away from it as soon as I can.
Yeah, I think a third of the people I lost early in the game were because they were standing next to burning cars and they just forgot to move them.
Alright, so this car... Yeah, so on my turn, next one, it's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't be near it, right? Like, so for example, if I'm by this taxi...
I think you're fine if you go to the taxi.
Alright,
I would put it on that corner, though. Although this is classic.
So, like, explosion would be bigger.
Yeah, so maybe just to be safe, put him farther away. Or her farther away.
See, I don't want to take the risk because she's already a sniper.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll just move here.
I know in normal, the mode I played, it was you had to be, like, in cover on the car for it to hurt you, but I wouldn't put it best for Axis to make it much harder for people who are, playing on harder difficulty.
So this is not going, too great, but this is also not too bad. Like, I have 2 soldiers who are down 2 health. See, so I could have totally survived this turn if she had stayed by the car that's on fire.
Oh, weird.
Alright, so I guess it's 2 turns? Or...
I thought it was the turn it gets set on fire counts as 1, and then the next turn it blows up.
Oh, okay, so like when it's the enemy's turn again, then...
Yes, yeah.
It'll explode?
So don't go back to it, for sure.
Right. Okay, that could be a life ender. Nope, Adam Condra pulls through. But you're no longer in cover.
What's up?
What's up? So, any exciting plans for the weekend? Just relax.
I think I'm going to Dia de los Muertos in Birmingham tonight.
Ooh.
I've never been before, but my girlfriend suggested it yesterday, so I think that's what I'm up to tonight. And yeah, I don't know, laundry.
Lottery?
Yeah, laundry.
Oh,
And,
laundry. I was like, the lottery is like the short story with the...
No. No, laundry and maybe I think tomorrow morning, if I'm up early enough, tuning in to see who's
Who's still going?
Who's still going, and I don't know. I don't think I know anybody who hasn't made it all the way through an extra live stream. But I know there's got to be some people who haven't, right?
Right. I mean, like, I guess you could get sick at some point.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing, yes, sniper lady. Like if you're, playing games for too long, then I guess you could get sick. But as far as falling asleep, I don't think that's an issue.
Or see, that would be the thing for me. I could make it fine up till probably 1 or 2 a.m. And then I think it'd hit me pretty bad.
Yep.
Nice.
Crystal is actually going to be joining me as a guest. We're going to be crossing extra live streams.
Shit.
Around like 2 or 3 a.m. when it's going to be hardest for both of us. That way we could synergize and energize.
That's right.
I hate the word synergy.
Sweet, I'm a heavy.
You're a heavy? Oh, awesome.
That's my favorite class.
Okay.
I did the Jeff Gersman all heavies thing once.
All heavies, no medics.
All heavies, no medics. One of them died, but it was basically just me firing rockets at everything.
Alright, well, I guess...
Damn, I wish this game was on Vita.
Oh my god, that would be so great, because the iOS port is so not good.
That's what I heard.
It's iPhone 5. It actually runs pretty well on iPhone 5. I have a 3rd gen iPad, and it slugs. Which is weird because, that's a pretty powerful machine.
I was going to say 3rd gen iPad's only like 2011, right?
Yeah. And like only 6 months later they took out they pulled out the iPad 4.
Without a live specimen,
So I don't know.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
So it was...
Speaking of terrible buzzwords, resolutionary, I think, is pretty high up there.
Resolutionary is pretty bad.
Dadgummit, Apple. So I have You've been podcasting with me long enough to know, like, how awful my netbook is. And I've been thinking about... I wanted to get a Surface 2 to replace it, and then I was doing some research this week, and found out that... Well, I found out, what did it for me is I found out that you can't play Hearthstone on a Surface. You have to get a Surface Pro. So I was like, well, nah.
Yeah, Surface 2, like, don't get the RT version. Just go for the Pro. Like, if you're gonna go there.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing for it because of the processor that it uses.
Yeah, and I hate that. It's just... I'm like one of the dozen people who likes Windows 8. So I want to get something that, uses that in a tablet form factor, but there's just... Like, that App Store is the saddest, Chinese knockoff street shop.
Yep. It's basically Android.
Yeah, and it's... right. It's usurped Android's place as the place for, just... really shoddy, like, mom and pop software, and then...
Right, because people actually use Android.
Yeah. I love the way these things play out, by the way. With you're watching them through this, like, Star Wars kind of interface thing. I think the presentation of that's really cool.
Which is the presentation of the entire game is really good. Alright, so you're still healing.
But, so...
So going back to the Surface talk, yes.
So like, have you ever been to Europe?
I'm from Russia.
Okay, well,
that's actually a really good question. Have I? No, not really.
Okay, I remember I was in high school. We took a senior trip and we went to Greece, and I remember in Greece they have these sidewalk kiosks that sell, newspapers and snacks, and they also sell toys, which are like the defective versions from factories that have either been like painted wrong or it's one licensed thing but they market it as another. Like, you can buy a Spider-Man figure that says Superman on it and like all these sort of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's what pretty much everything in the Windows Store feels like. It's like I picked up this Instagram app but it's made out of like cardboard and paper clips, and it doesn't work properly.
That's a really good analogy.
And it's so sad. It's all so sad.
Yeah. And I wonder why that is. I mean, like a lot of it has to do with developers, just not caring about Windows 8 as a platform because it's just not that significant of a market share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, why bother, right?
Right.
Do you think there's anything that Microsoft could do differently to like change the way that things currently are?
Well, they got rid of the breakdancing ads, so that's a good step. I don't know. The problem is, and like Ben Kuchera did an article about this, about how poorly they've managed their marketing. And he was like, there's no way to competently advertise, or at least it's really difficult to competently advertise, the way a device like that benefits people who like to work on the go. Because, there's no way to really make that look sexy, which I guess, is the irony of Windows 8, is that, Microsoft has always had very, very kind of austere, functional operating systems, and now that they've gone and made it sexy, like, they don't know how to make it appeal to the people who kept Windows going for so long in the first place. So, I don't know, it's a crappy problem to have, because I think it's one of those things, I didn't really get it until I got a Windows phone and enjoyed how efficient everything was there. But it's really difficult to communicate that to someone who hasn't tried it for themselves. So, I don't know. I guess, breakdancing was probably the best idea they had.
Do you have a favorite map in XCOM? Or like, I guess, a favorite theme?
Yeah, I have favorite
Tile set?
I have favorite tactical maps and favorite aesthetic maps.
Okay, so what are they?
The tactical map that I really like is it's like a railway yard.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like lots of train cars and stuff. I tend to do really well in those maps because my team, once I got them rolling, was always a sniper with oversight, and then 2 heavies, 2 medics, and an assault guy. So basically what I would do is I would set up the sniper in the best position, and then I would have heavies and assault go up the middle, and I would have the medics on the sides. And I like that map because it's kind of like the scrolling sort of Guitar Hero lanes. You've got a discrete place for every single piece of your arsenal. And I don't know, the aesthetic stuff. There's a map like this. It's foresty, but it takes place in the daytime. But it's like this low sort of riverbed.
Mm-hmm.
That map, I think, is probably the best looking map in the game, but it's murder because there's so little cover throughout those levels until you get to the spaceship.
Right. The train yard is actually my least favorite one.
Oh, really?
Both in terms of aesthetics and tactical. Just I have
it is
not
pretty ugly.
learned have not learned to handle that.
Yep. It is pretty ugly. I think
it's really
that map has a really bad color palette.
And just, I don't know. I always like that is my weakest level.
Did you ever have any soldiers that had like the grappling hook thing?
Yes.
I never did, and
it can come pretty useful because like the big spaceship levels. Like when you shut down like a really huge spaceship.
Oh yeah.
It can be really handy to just like get to the top of the UFO really quick.
When you don't have those weird like gravity well things.
Yes.
Where they jump in them and it's like... Yep.
Have you used any soldiers with the jetpack?
Mm-mm.
Me neither.
Because I thought... I took one look at that thing and thought, that could be cool. Or, I could just be trapped in the air, and then suddenly everybody's got like 80% hit rate on me.
Yep. I just keep thinking about like Actually, floaters, surprisingly, when they're like in the air, very hard to hit.
I do. Excuse me. I think my favorite floater kills are when you're underneath them and you just knock them down with a pistol. Get out of here.
But yeah, the riverbeds, like any level that takes place in forest, whether it's a day or night. Sorry about that. It's just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. I'm eager to see what they add in Enemy Within too, because I would like to see some changes in architecture, because I don't think that XCOM does like urban environments as well as it does natural environments.
The reason it's called Enemy Within is because it's kind of like that episode of Magic School Bus where you become like super small and then you go inside of a body.
I was gonna say they go into like, who is it, Carlos's digestive system?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, making deep.
I knew I should have stayed home today. Shut up, Arnold.
Making deep cuts here on the Extra Life stream.
The 90s.
Oh gosh, Magic School Bus is actually available on Netflix. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I should show that to my kids, because I've been talking about that several times this year, and nobody has any idea what that is. Or Schoolhouse Rock, for that matter, which just makes me sad.
Yeah.
I like the design of these guys, because they look really intimidating, but they're actually really easy to kill.
Yep.
So I feel like as a player, I'm having it both ways. It's like, oh, that thing looks really cool, and it's not giving me too much trouble either.
They can do a lot of damage to you, though. Yep. Just boom.
Critical, nice.
I was looking at there's this test called the Mini Mental State Exam, and it's a like screening tool for dementia and Alzheimer's disease.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at it, and actually, hold on. It was part of the battery. It was not the Mini Mental State Exam, but it was part of the battery that's used to test for dementia. And there's a thing called like the CRAD, or it's they show you a picture and you're supposed to name the thing that's in the picture. And one of the things is an abacus, and I'm thinking,
mm-hmm.
man, in 40 years, like when people
everyone will have dementia.
Yeah, well, because people our age, in 40 years, like they're not gonna know what an abacus is.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my peers, don't know what that is.
I have a bunch in my classroom, and it was funny because we use a lot of tactile aids in the math lessons that we teach, and
talk about that.
Well, we use a new curriculum this year called Math UC, which is all about teaching kids how to do math in terms of word problems.
Mm-hmm.
So they get really good at recognizing like the vocabulary that's used and how to figure out, when and what language. Oh shit. When and what language is used to indicate what different type of arithmetic they need to use.
Mm-hmm.
So that the kids become better at just like using math practically in everyday situations instead of just, seeing a bunch of numbers on paper. And to do that, the lesson materials come with a bunch of plastic blocks that represent, every unit 1 through 10, and then there's a 100 by 100 block, and you use that. You use these blocks and these sticks basically to help kids map out math problems just with these objects, and
mm-hmm.
then figure out how to put them together. And there are all sorts of neat little tricks you can do, like for example, when you're teaching them squares, like raised to the second power. You take the 100 by 100 block and you say, okay, well now I want to know what 11 times 11 is. So you take a 10 stick and you put it on the end. You take another 10 stick and you put it on top of it. And then to finish the square, you add a 1 block so that the square is complete. And then you say, okay, so we added 11 to each side. Now how many is it? And then you pull all the blocks apart and you see that it's 121. And so it's a really easy way for the kids to see, oh, this all adds up spatially as well as mentally. And anyway, the reason I started on this is because I have an abacus and I wanted to use that, but I realized when I picked it up, I don't actually know how to do it. I don't know what the different rows, how you split them up, and how you get them to work out that way. But anyway, I'm glad using an abacus is not part of dementia.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And just kids that are like incoming freshmen. So the class of
2017?
2017? Yeah. Like they have no idea what cassette tapes are.
What?
Yeah. Let's see here. What else? Cassette tapes. You know how when you have a Word document and the way you to save is click on the diskette icon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have no idea what that is.
They don't know what a floppy is?
Yeah, so
Damn.
they know that that's their only association with that, that's a thing you click on to save your Word document.
Right.
Without any sort of context for why it's there or why that is the icon.
So I guess in the future it's just going to be clouds? I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. Well, like in the podcast app on the iPhone, now when it asks you to download a podcast, it just has a picture of a cloud and then an arrow pointing down. Right. And I guess they're just going to think like that's going to be their visual language for all this stuff.
Right.
Which I guess, I was like, I was born in '88, so I was in that weird time between like floppies and then storing everything on DVDs, and now we have flash memory, and then now we've even usurped flash memory with, cloud storage. It's weird how fast all that stuff has changed. Like, I'm thinking back.
It's an interesting thought, like, with the clouds, like, to save something, you just have an arrow pointing into the cloud, and then to open something, just an arrow pointing out of the cloud.
Yeah.
It's an interesting iconography. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I was that made me laugh. I was thinking about there's an episode of did you ever see that TV show Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
Where there's an episode where
or as they say, sequel to Breaking Bad.
Yes. Walter White and Witness Protection. There's an episode where Reese gets a job, or I think it's the oldest brother. It's Francis. Gets a job in a fast food restaurant, and he's learning the cash register. Mm-hmm. And he can't use it because every key on the cash register is just a different picture of something. Like there's a dog that's sweating, and he's like, "What is this?" And they're like, "Oh, that's for hot dogs." And he's like, "I don't understand this. Can't you just like write down what it all means?" And his manager slaps him on the back and goes, "Ah, man of letters." That's one of my favorite jokes. Anyway. I think I'm going to get up real quick and get some water. I'll be right back.
Sure. If you're just tuning in, I'm playing XCOM Enemy Unknown with my guest Adam Condra, who's joined me via Skype. This is for One Life for Extra Life, a fundraiser event in which I play video games for 25 hours in an effort to raise money for sick children who are being taken care of in Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh of UPMC. Please donate if you can. If that is in your financial ability to do so, I urge you to consider donating to this cause. Um, and also, we hope you enjoy the stream. So
no one's dead?
Ooh. So you getting up to get water actually gave me a good opening to just like quickly reiterate on what the stream is for, and just tell people about donating. So that was good. That was good timing.
Yeah, I checked your page this morning. I saw you jumped up like $150 since the last time I checked.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like from yesterday afternoon, people just like started donating money, and it was awesome. I'm at like nearly 400 now. I'm super stoked.
So when you set all this up, do you have to do it through Extra Life, or do you have to go to the hospital and say, by the way, I'm giving this stuff to y'all? Or so I guess what's the protocol? Yeah.
So when you sign up for Extra Life, you pick which hospitals. Like you just give them like your area code, I guess, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, we found a Children's Miracle Network hospital in your area," and then you just pick that one to donate to. Or actually, no, I think you just type in the name of the hospital. Well, either way, you pick, and then they automatically sort all the money.
Gotcha. Do they I guess when do you set this up? Is it like August or?
I think it was August. Yeah, I think that's when Nick sent out the email.
Okay.
And I have no idea what's gonna happen after today. Like, I don't know if that donation page is gonna stay up. I don't know if they're gonna close it down until like August of next year. Because this is the first time we're doing, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I recently moved my computer into my bedroom, and I got a wireless card because I can't stretch an Ethernet cord from my router back to my PC. So I haven't streamed anything since then, and I need to test that out because I'm not sure that streaming is going to work too well over Wi-Fi.
Right. That's probably right. I wonder if there's any workaround.
Also, I just need to get XSplit because the last couple streams I did were just awful with OBS.
XSplit did a really cool thing this year. If you got more than $15 in donations, you actually got 1 month of XSplit.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was really cool of them. So I'm using XSplit right now because hey, why not? And also OBS is kind of shitty.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give credit to OBS. Like, it was really easy for me to get it set up and figure out what I was doing. But it's not reliable at all.
No, it really isn't. But it is cool for, being like a free piece of software that replaces a pretty expensive alternative. So, what you been playing lately?
Let's see. A lot of Pokemon.
Ooh, are you playing X or Y?
I'm playing Y.
Why?
Why? Because everyone else. Yeah. It was mainly because I just sort of read the tea leaves and I was like, everyone else is gonna go for X, which means if I get Y, I'm gonna have all the hot Pokemon because nobody else is able to get them.
And you know what? You're right.
Yeah,
from street passing with people, a lot of them are playing Pokemon X.
Also, because X has that ridiculous Charizard Mega Evolution that just looks leagues cooler than the Y version, where he's like constantly belching flame and has black skin. I don't know. I think of the Mega Evolutions I've seen, Blastoise has to be my favorite because he's just got this giant howitzer on his back.
Wait, there are version-exclusive Mega Evolutions?
Just for Charizard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Charizard and Mewtwo are the version exclusive ones.
Hold on.
Everything else looks the same.
Mewtwo evolves?
Yes, Mewtwo has a like Super Mewtwo form.
Oh my god.
That's his Mega Evolution.
That's so rad.
Yeah, he's got this really cool. He has this in his Y evolution. He has this like cerebral tail that like comes out of his head, and then he balances himself on the tail, and so he's just sort of like floating in the air, and then his tail's left on the ground. He looks pretty cool. Damn, I missed him. So a lot of Pokemon, and that 2DS is great. I love that thing.
Oh, so you bought one. I was under the assumption that you were. Oh yeah, well, I guess you do, because I think I remember you saying something about how your hands don't hurt as much anymore.
Yeah, it was. So the way it's all to do with the way the control stick and the shoulder buttons are placed. Mm-hmm. So I got the original 3DS, and that thing is just murder on your hands, or at least mine. The way I hold controllers, you know, the proximity of my thumb to the way I had to hold those shoulder buttons just was really stressful, and I didn't have as much range with my thumb on the analog nub as I would have liked, and so it just was really painful to use. And so I figured when the XL came out, oh, okay, it's bigger. You know, it'll just make sense that that's... No! Yeah. Damn. It'll just make sense that that's... that should be more comfortable. And it wasn't because, the distance between the shoulder buttons and the analog nub, like the angles on it or the geometry of it didn't actually solve the problem. Mm-hmm. With the 2DS though, like, first of all, it looks stupid as hell, but the way you hold that thing, your index fingers sit higher on the device over the shoulder buttons. And that makes it orders of magnitude more comfortable. So I've put probably like 32 hours into Pokemon and haven't felt any pain at all. It's pretty awesome.
Did you use the 3D in the 3DS a lot when you had it?
No, I did. I played like Face Raiders once, and I think that's the only time I've used the 3D. But I would turn, you flip it on occasionally just to see what things look like, and then you turn it off. I remember it looked pretty cool in Resident Evil Revelations, or Revelations if you're a purist, because there was an option in the game to actually increase the depth to a really extreme degree, which looked cool for a while, but also like this is even worse on the XL than it is on the regular 3DS. If you turn it up, to the highest point, the viewing angles get really, really tiny.
Yes.
To the point where if you're just not, straight on at the perfect degree, vertically and horizontally from your face, then, there's no point.
And even then, there's still a little bit of like double vision thing going on.
Yeah, you get some shimmering and some just extra objects.
It's pretty bad. I just don't use the 3D on my 3DS XL. So Pokemon on the 2DS
is lovely. I think that the review that Shedler wrote for Dark Station was actually really good, and I agree with a lot of those points, but I think the reason I'm having so much fun with Pokemon is because I haven't played it since like 99. Mm-hmm. So I haven't, there's not as much fatigue there. So it's basically like I went straight from the original Game Boy to the 3DS. So there's enough new there for me that it's really cool. And I think I've got... I just got my... I want to say 6th badge. I think I got 2 more. I will say this. Don't buy the strategy guide, because the whole reason I bought that thing, which when you get it in the store, like it's wrapped in plastic, there's no way to open it up and just sort of like leaf through it. So, buyer beware, obviously. But the reason I bought it is because I thought it would have like a list of, new Pokemon, where to catch them, like how they evolve, and which Pokemon are like version specific. And there's none of that in the strategy guide. It's just a walkthrough of the game and then a list of like where to get the TMs, and that's a lot of stuff there, but it's not. I don't think what someone who wants to get deep into Pokemon really wants to do, which kind of sucks. But.
Have you seen this screen before? Is this for like DLC versus just a random encounter?
Oh, Slingshot is the DLC.
Yeah. Because I've never gotten like a choice. It was just kind of forced upon me. So what do you think? Should I do the?
I go Slingshot.
Yeah, why not? Let's get that weapon early. Probably gonna die. This is actually a bad idea because Slingshot is actually pretty difficult at times. Actually, well, not the first mission. That sucks about the strategy guide. Those aren't good in general, though.
It's something I thought would be like appropriate for that type of game. Just because you can go to Bulbapedia or any of these online resources. There's even like some really good iOS apps that have all the necessary Pokemon information you could want. But I feel like for Pokemon, something that I last played, in the 90s, it would just feel appropriate to have a book reference that I could, keep on the couch next to me. And, it's been useful for, like, the gym battles and stuff, because it tells you what Pokemon you're about to face and what their weaknesses are, so you know how to stack your team. But, it's just kind of a non-starter. So other than that, let's see. I've been playing a lot of Madden just because that's easy when you come home, play a game for half an hour and then just relax like that. And
totally. I was that way with SSX.
With what?
SSX.
Yeah. I saw that on sale not long ago and I didn't pick it up. I should have.
Oh, you should have. Like, it was amazing. It's a really good, like, I'm just gonna not think about anything, or like it's a really good game for listening to podcasts while you're playing it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm always on the lookout for more of those.
Yeah, those are rare, but when you do get one, it's amazing.
Yeah, my podcast backlog is like 20 deep right now, and that's actually pretty low compared to what it usually is. But if I'm in the mood for something that's a lot more cerebral, I've been slowly getting through Device 6, the new Sumogo game.
Yes.
Which is super fantastic and good. It's also really difficult. So I don't want to say too much about that game because I'm really not very far, but I really love what I've played of it so far, and it's one of those things I have to make time for it, and I have to sit down and make sure that I'm ready to, focus on something. So it's not really the best game to play after, teaching at school for 6 hours, but when I do get some time and, get to take notes, it's probably one of the coolest things I've touched all year.
And you don't have to worry about nightmares after you play it, unlike their previous game.
Well, yeah, there is some creepy stuff in there, but no, it's nothing like the Mylings.
I almost blocked that word out.
So I did on Thursday. I just thought we'd have fun and talk about Halloween customs and where they came from, as like our history lesson for the day. Mm-hmm. And I realized that every European culture, for the most part, has some version of the brook horse. In Scotland, it's called the hobble horse or the hobby horse. Mm-hmm. And instead of doing what it does in Year Walk and like leading children to drown, basically it's sort of like the happy animal spirit guide that takes them through the village safely so that they can go trick-or-treating without fear of any kind of demonic reprisal. So there's usually like a guy who dresses up as the hobby horse and then just leads the kids around so that they can, bug people's doors and get candy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about Device 6? I mean, like, is it the aesthetics of it? Is it the puzzle element? Is it, like, both?
I would say the puzzle elements are really cool because the first time your progress is stopped and you realize that you have to figure something out in order to move forward, that's a really cool moment because, you're just sitting there reading through this story and kind of wondering, when things are going to pick up. And then things get stopped and you realize that, oh, I really need to be paying attention to, the music and the scenery and all this, the pictures, all these extra textual elements that are going on in the background. They're not there to build the story out. They're there to give you clues as to what to do. And I don't, to my knowledge, have never seen anything quite like that in a video game because, as a lot of reviews have accurately described it, it's more of a mystery novel that has game elements around it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that, there's nothing in the game, or in the story rather, that isn't, there's no fat there. It's all stuff that's designed to get you to focus on both the mystery and the story at large. So if you see a picture in the background that scrolls through, or if you hear, if you hear like footsteps or something as you're scrolling through the story and reading, that's there for a reason. That's not just to make it feel alive. That's actually useful information. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, I think, is that all that stuff, and this is true of Year Walk as well, like all the aesthetic and all the mechanical stuff meshes together perfectly.
Yeah.
And they made this game in, let's see, 8 months.
Really?
So, yeah, those guys are fast, and they're really good at what they do.
Their name is Smogo, and they're the best at what they do.
Yeah. Which is funny, because Simon Flesser is probably like the least Wolverine-type person I can think of. Fucking Thin Man. You know what I hate about these things is that, oh, that sucks.
The poison spit?
Yeah, well, that, and when you finally do kill them, you got to make sure you're not standing right next to them.
Except when you have, I think it's called a Titan armor, that has like its own air filtration system. And,
oh, nice! I didn't know that.
And that allows you to just like be like, okay, poison, whatever. Oh my god!
76 is pretty good.
76 is pretty good. This is going so bad for me.
I jinxed you. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I should not have, that was a really dumb decision to pick Slingshot. Yeah! Adam Condra pulls through.
Cutscene! That's always the best when you're nervous about something and then they pull the camera out.
And just like, yes!
Like, oh, man. I got it.
But, okay.
Oh.
Okay, and that's it for Slingshot.
We have a new objective.
Okay, so might want to start thinking about what the next game would be.
I was gonna say we have.
Actually, let's see here. So with XCOM, I think when all the countries pull out, that's probably going to be game over for me.
Okay.
Because I don't I guess if I lose all the soldiers and I can't afford to hire any more, that would also be a game over for me. But like the official XCOM game over, if you don't win, then it's when all the countries pull out of the XCOM project.
Right.
So that's going to be, that can actually take a while. Like this is what I like about XCOM is that it's super difficult and it has a lot of ups and downs. But for the thing that I'm doing, it's really good because it can take a little bit of time before that even happens.
Yeah.
Whereas something like Spelunky, it could either go for 15 minutes or 10 seconds.
I was going to say, which among the games that you've selected is probably the least stressful?
Ooh. I'd have to look at the games that I've selected.
Yeah, well, you've got Diablo 3 and Far Cry 2 on there, which I think, if you're at like a normal or a lower difficulty, you could probably just carry those through to the end.
Far Cry 2, I'm going to be playing on like the slightly above normal difficulty. And then the way I'm going to play that, because it has the buddy system, I'm actually going to be ignoring that. So like if I go down, then that's it. So I think I'm going to kill all the buddies. I think if I rescue a buddy, I'm just going to instantly kill the buddy. Just to not have that temptation of be like, oh, my buddy saved me, so I guess I'm okay.
Right.
But nope, nobody, no saving.
You can't report to me anymore.
Yep.
How many buddies can you have in that game?
The most I've had is 2.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. I really have no idea. Just Far Cry 2 is a cool game.
That is a cool game.
Very underrated. Did not do well commercially, I guess.
No, but they've already said they've got Far Cry 4 in the works, or at least the composer says he's working on it. So
I wish there were more games set in Africa.
Yeah, that was
super
one of the
unique.
coolest parts of that.
And then going back to Diablo 3, that one I don't have to worry about. I'm just going to make a hardcore character, and because of the way that the game structures its difficulty settings, you start on normal and then just move on from there, and normal is actually pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Normal is actually the easy mode, and then the one above that is the normal mode, which is the naming of the game's difficulties is kind of weird. Did you play Diablo 3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you...
I've still got it on my PS3. I didn't... I haven't played it since GTA 5 came out, because there was that, and then there was a bunch of stuff that's come out since then, like Pokemon and stuff. But I've got about 20 hours into the PS3 version with a Barbarian. So I'll probably go back to that in December or something after school's out.
And you criticized its use of like the biblical mythology.
Yeah, I thought that it was really awkward to play a game that has these very direct, like characters and sort of aesthetic elements that are easily identified with the Bible, but there's no reference to God or to a creator. And I guess, it's weird playing a game that uses a religious text basically as if it was like a mythology. And I think that, if you take your religion seriously, you should be pretty discerning about how that kind of stuff is represented in media. And I like that Diablo 3 has this kind of hardcore representation of things, but I don't like that the parts that it takes out of the Bible aren't related in any significant way. Because there's no creator. It just feels kind of arbitrary. Well, here's like a good side and here's a bad side. And you know they're good and bad because it's angels and demons, and you know that just kind of makes sense on its face.
Right.
So it's, I don't know. I haven't really drawn any conclusions on that because you know, I haven't really heard what other people have to say on the subject. But I don't know. I got an article out of it, so that was nice.
You've done some good games writing.
I mean, well, you know, I'll let Kyle decide if that's the case. But oh, speaking of, they've got a. Sorry, I keep hiccuping.
No problem. Are you eating hot peppers?
No, the sausage I had in this biscuit's pretty spicy though.
Do you get hiccups when you eat spicy things?
Only. It's weird. Only if I'm drinking something carbonated with it.
Huh.
So like, you know, there's a restaurant in town that does 50-cent hot wings on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually go to them on Tuesdays because A, it's where I can watch, you know, baseball, football, or whatever, and B, you know, it's a really cheap dinner. And I really like spicy food. I love, you know, habaneros and like hot sauce and that sort of stuff. So if I like have a beer first and then eat too fast, I'll get the hiccups real bad. And for some reason, you know, after you've been drinking, killing the hiccups is exponentially harder than it is if you just get them, you know, in an everyday situation.
Right.
Which is extra funny because, you know, if you're out at a bar like that, you're surrounded by rednecks and then you start hiccuping and everybody just sort of looks, stares at you, you know, oh, look at this sissy, you know?
Aw.
Yeah, but,
And you're just like, I'm just trying to make sure I'm still human.
Adam Jensen's robotic stomach.
I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for these hiccups.
I didn't ask for these teriyaki wings. It's just not spicy at all.
I asked for the Chipotle burger.
Let's see, is the Halloween sale still going on? Let's see.
I think so. You want a real Halloween sale, go to a grocery store because they're selling all their candy for like super cheap.
This is true.
That's the real Halloween sale.
Let's see. No, it is not, but Injustice is 10% off. Oh, I guess it's not out yet.
Injustice for PC? Gods Among Us?
Yeah. Yeah, it comes out on the 12th, so the same day as Enemy Within.
I know what I'm buying on the 12th. Oh my god, there's so many sectoids. Oh, this is the worst. Oh. This is just legitimately not going well for me. Oh gosh.
Nice, got him.
Yeah. Gosh, you're just the hero of this little campaign.
You know, I do what I can. If I survive all the way through, at least for as far as I'm on, I bet I die like the turn after I log off.
Yep. Oh gosh, it's 9:34 already.
Yeah.
Or 8:34, depending where you are. Ooh.
Let's see, GOG.
Time flies by.
GOG has all the Might and Magic stuff on sale. It's nice.
All that it has, because the only Might and Magic thing we should worry about is Might and Magic Clash of Heroes.
Yeah, and that is not among them.
Nope.
So I don't know what I'm doing here.
Gosh, that's such an amazing game.
I need to get it for PC because the iOS version, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I would actually avoid the PC version if you have the choice. Let's say, like if you're gonna have a 360 or a PS3 there, hooked up to your TV still, like when new consoles come out, and you're not gonna just like put in, you want to get the PS3 version or the 360 version, because those are actually good. The PC version, it crashes a lot, it bugs out. Yeah,
that sucks. I'm always glad when someone panics and they use hunker down.
I'm always
what
glad
am I?
when someone
What am I
panics
doing?
I'm always glad when someone panics and then just shoots an enemy and kills them. I have 3
Did they just
people.
get panicked?
I have 3 people who are panicked.
And it's just because they got shot at? Like, no one even got hit?
Yep.
What?
The fuck this game?
10% with a shotgun.
This isn't happening. Gosh, I'm gonna have some water. Exciting stream content. Watch Michael drink water.
Water Drinker Pro.
Good call out. Bonus water. There was a time when I had no idea what was being said, and I just only heard like soda. It was like bonus soda. Still have not played that game actually.
They just announced something new for it.
Dr. Pepper DLC.
Yeah, it was something like that. Oh, it's on the Rift.
Oh.
Yeah. You can now play Soda Drinker Pro on the Rift.
Okay, so the Rift. Are you gonna get one?
I don't know.
Like when the actual final version comes out.
They've got, what is it? They're putting together the 1080p version right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, enough people I trust have said it's awesome that I really want to at least try it, but I'm not in a position to be able to do that without, having to just buy the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not.
Because that's like a $300 blind purchase.
Right, exactly. And I'm not. I don't know. I really want to try it out, but I think it's one of those things, even as great as everyone says it is, I really don't see myself playing with it regularly. But I could be wrong, because like everybody I know who raves about that thing like said that exact same thing at some point.
And then you play it and it's just like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I guess the novelty of that would wear off pretty soon. Or maybe not. I really have no idea. I guess if there are new independent developments coming out for it, on like a weekly or monthly basis, then I guess you have incentive to play it, to keep playing it.
Yeah, that's one thing that's encouraging, is that it seems like tech demos or games just to try out for the Rift seem to be really easy to come by. And the software itself, like the barrier to entry is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty encouraging, because it seems like the people who are developing for that thing are really interested in getting it into the hands of as many people as possible. So even though the hardware is expensive, it's not expensive to get into something that you could use it with.
In worst case scenario, you just end up playing Team Fortress 2 on a Rift-only server. Which, you know what? Team Fortress 2, great game. I would totally, do that if...
Yeah. I bet, is it animated too? So that, like if you're using Rift, your character's head moves along with that as well?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
And then also your head is independent of the aiming, so your weapon stays in the place. You can actually just look at like your entire rocket launcher if you're playing as the soldier, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, see, I just get this like machinima image of like a wave of dudes running, and they're looking straight up into the sky, but they're firing forward. I bet you could get some good machinima out of that.
Probably.
Cutscene.
Woohoo! Nobody lost.
Operation Burning Pipe.
That's a good name. Panic in Egypt. So yeah, I don't know about the Rift, but I did back Cast AR, and I did the backing where it's like the full package. So I'm super excited for that.
What is Cast AR?
Cast AR is being developed by Jerry Ellsworth and her partner Rick something. Both of them are ex-Valve employees. I didn't even... Okay, yeah, that's good. So Cast AR are these glasses that you put on, and you have a surface in front of you that it's augmented reality. So you get to see things projected in the real world using these glasses. And multiple people with the glasses can look at the exact same thing. And they also have head tracking, so let's say you have like an XCOM map in front of you. You can actually look up and down around cover to see things.
That sounds awesome.
So right now they have a Kickstarter going on. It's pretty incredible. Like things I've heard about it, from Tested.com and then Idle Thumbs have both talked about it. It's super cool. Just you can play like board games with it. You can play new games that haven't even been invented yet because it's just a new way to interact with the computer.
Oh, so you could do like an Eye of Judgment kind of thing.
Yeah, you could
That sounds
totally
awesome.
do that.
Or like the Star Wars Holo Chess.
And like, so instead of looking at a screen, like where you have a camera that's capturing like the playing field and then projecting it like in the TV, instead you have an actual thing. You have you can have a card, for example, with an actual like dragon floating above it,
Right.
in the real world.
That's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet, right? And the novelty of it is way more intense than the Oculus Rift. It's just
So how long is the... Well, you put the link on Facebook. I'll just check it there. But I am seeing now.
let's see, their Kickstarter is going until funding period November 14th. So it started on October 14th and it's going until November 14th. They have surpassed their goal of $400 total. $400,000 total, not $400.
I was like, wow, that's really cost effective.
Well, yeah. So let's see here. For $189 or more, you get the starter package, which includes the Cast AR glasses with the built-in tracking system, and then 1 meter by 1 meter surface. So it's like a special material that's used. And I heard something about it being like being made out of the same material that the stickers that you get for your car when you register your car.
Yeah.
So I think it's something like that material.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. And it's just 2 people.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, Oculus Rift is a company
Yeah.
that has John Carmack as the CTO. And this is just, 2 people who have like a dream. And they've made a prototype that actually works. So this is Kickstarter at the peak of its like importance, I think.
Yeah. Or its usefulness.
Useful, exactly. So thank you. That's a much better word. Versus when some creeper does a really gross thing on Kickstarter and then Kickstarter like doesn't do anything about that and just that's the worst.
Woo! Hentai cards.
It was Did you hear about the Kickstarter controversy? It was like a couple of months ago. When
There's been several. I don't know.
when like a pickup artist did like a Kickstarter for a book.
Oh, the rape guide. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
the rape guide. Yep.
Yeah.
Super gross. And just the way that was handled by Kickstarter, or the way it was not handled by Kickstarter.
Well, didn't they? They finally got rid of it and they donated a bunch of money to Rain.
Right. Well, okay, so the guy still got the money. So they didn't cancel the project. The project's still completed. He got the money. And then they donated a bunch of money to Rain, which Rain has its issues with trans people.
Mm-hmm.
So that may also not be the best thing for that money, but you know, it's the intention is what counts.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Not to get too political in this stream. I mean, we've talked about religion. We've talked about
yeah, I was gonna say usually like I can talk about the abortion clinic that I live across from. It's Saturday, so you know the Catholics are out there having coffee right now. I go hang out with them. That actually doesn't look too bad. Have you lost any countries yet?
I just lost Egypt.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just I don't know. I keep skipping through screens and not really looking at them, so I'm not really doing the best XCOM job that I can. The stupid thing I can't even. How do I look at my?
Man, Europe loves you.
Okay, yeah, Europe is good. Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, South Africa. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna lose all of the countries on the left within like 2 missions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it 2 missions, and then those are all lost. Which, you know, as long as I can keep, you know, even South Africa. Wait, hold on. I'm located in Africa, and 1/3 of Africa withdrew from the project. This is going so bad for me.
Nigeria seems alright though. For 3 missions.
Alright, I guess I'll do the UFO power source for my next research. Or alien materials. No, I probably should do alien materials because I need to get better suits.
How many soldiers do you have right now?
A bunch.
Okay, good.
Let's see if we can actually look. Okay, and I have a whole bunch of new ones, so let's do the exciting thing of naming them again.
Okay, that's good. So you've got some options.
Alright, so this is Joel, Dark Station's editor-in-chief.
Joe looks like he's been hitting the HGH or something.
I suppose they might. Yep. Okay. Yeah, he's been through some fights.
He's been working out.
Eventually, I'm gonna run out of donors, and that's gonna be a sad day.
Which donors are going to survive?
I keep. Who did I lost? I lost Han because my promise was to keep track of the soldiers, and then at the end of it to like send everyone the detailed reports about like their time in XCOM.
Their combat record?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm getting better really quick. All right.
I'm dead already, right?
No, you're still alive.
Oh, okay, sweet.
No, you just panicked when someone shot at you.
Okay.
Because, you know, such a manly man.
It happens, if, you know, paintball.
Yep. Have you paintballed before?
Just once. and it was a lot of fun.
What was your setup? What did you have? Like
I rented a Tipman 98 that had a response trigger on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like a mask and a sweater, basically. I mean, I had pants on too, but you know. Actually, I'm writing a review right now for the season pass content that came out for Black Ops 2.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the maps that they put out is a paintball facility with a bunch of different like paintball match, like inflatable arenas and stuff. It was pretty cool.
I have no more female donors on my list. All right, well, yep. Kid be happy. Do you prefer laser tag or paintball, based on your one experience with paintball?
Have
you laser tagged before?
Oh yeah.
Adam Condra, laser tag season pro.
I mean, where you still can, you know, because there used to be, I think, 3 or 4 laser tag facilities near where I live, and now there's only one. So I haven't laser tagged since I was in like 8th grade, but I used to do it a lot. I like,
Dude.
I like how tactile everything feels in paintball. You know, like you've got real weapons that feel really heavy, and you've got actual ballistics to consider. I'd say laser tag is more fun though, because you can do it more because it's less stressful, and you know you don't wake up with bruises the next morning.
Right.
And also, you know, if you've got a really good facility, the way it looks when you're running through, like shooting against people and stuff, is pretty awesome. I really want to go and do that now. I haven't done that in so long.
You can do it.
I should talk to Britain. Just be like, hey, you want to go? We go laser tag or something? She's very gun phobic though, so I don't think that would work out.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does she feel about you owning a gun?
I own several guns, and I think it's just one of those, like, she's pretty neutral on, you know, Second Amendment type stuff, so she just prefers that I don't talk about them, which, you know, is fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think it's just, she doesn't like guns because of, like, the noise they make and sort of, you know, kind of the, like the oral elements of that combined with, you know, how idiotic some of the rhetoric surrounding guns can be, especially here, you know, in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just something that makes her really uncomfortable, so I do my best to, you know, make sure she doesn't have to think about it. So,
I
like this pub area, I think.
Yeah, this pub there is good.
It's, even though it's basically a reskin of the first map you played, but I like the glass fronts on it. Anyway, you were saying?
Very quickly, my favorite map is the cemetery.
Oh, I forgot about that.
The cemetery's the best.
It's like a New Orleans style, kind of like mausoleum type thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's pretty cool.
So just like aesthetically and also tactically, it's probably like the best map for me. What guns do you own, if you don't mind talking about that?
Yeah, I have 2 guns. They both came from my grandfather after he died. One of them is a really nice hunting shotgun, and it's it comes in this case. You have to assemble it before you use it, and it's got it's a breech, so it's one of those you open up and it holds 2 shells at a time. And let me see. It's got interchangeable barrels. So depending on what gauge you want to use, you can have like a 410, 20, 28, and 12. You can just modify it to shoot any kind of shotgun ammunition you want. So I usually, I haven't used it in a long time, probably about 5 or 6 years since I fired it. But, you know, my dad and I, if it's like Thanksgiving or something with the family, we'll take it and we'll go shoot skeet, you know, clay targets, something like that for a while. And then the other gun I own is a Walther P38, which is a handgun from World War II. And it's interesting because the serial designation, I've done some research. Damn, you just lost 2.
Yep.
I did some research, and the serial number designation indicates that it was made in the 50s, so well after World War II had ended. But when you break it apart to clean it, on the inside of the barrel mechanism is a Wehrmacht Nazi insignia.
Huh.
So yeah, so the molds that it's like the eagle over the globe, and then you can see that stamped on the inside very clearly. And so it's interesting to me that, you know, even though this came out, you know, long after the war was over, the casting, or you know, the process that Walther was using to make these weapons still included, you know, Reich insignias and propaganda, basically. I keep that one locked up, like, you know, practically, you know, I own guns, but practically I don't have any that I carry or that I would use, you know, outside just like being at a family event or something, like if you want to go shoot targets or something. Mainly because, like, if I ever use that gun for self-defense and someone broke it apart, it would, you know, it's like, oh, there's a Nazi insignia here, you know, oh, we got a skinhead on our hands. So yeah. I keep that one in storage, and I don't go to it very often.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I don't want to get into like gun rhetoric and stuff, but I'm pretty comfortable around them, I would say. But I keep those. I mean, those two are pretty much just antiques. Also, you're boned.
I'm completely boned.
Oh, the gas cloud didn't reach you. That's nice.
Just the worst. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just every single time anything happens.
I'm watching your face. It's appropriate, I think.
I might just break out some wine. So I don't know if we talked about this before, but speaking of wine, do you have a poison of choice?
I don't drink wine all that much, but I do drink lots of beer. Alabama, I think, is probably the best place to be right now if you're into craft beer, because we've had, I would say within the last 5 years, there have been almost a dozen breweries that have sprung up in the state, and mainly because, mainly because high gravity beers, in other words, beers that are, yeah, that sucks. And he's panicked. I'm gonna hunker down in this poison. What's up? Mainly because high gravity beers, that is beers that are more than 6% alcohol, were illegal up until 2009. Mm-hmm. So once the state finally changed those laws, suddenly there was this huge craft beer explosion. And that sucks.
Let me just add Jeremy to this call.
Yeah. messages. Oh.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hi.
If you're just tuning in, Jeremy Meyer just joined the stream as a guest. Adam, I don't know if you're. Well, I guess time's up.
I can. Let's see. I got to pack and I got to get going, but I can stick around for another 10 minutes or so.